Hey everybody, how you doing? Got some good news. This is a moment that quite a few people never wanted to see happen. Quite a number of people involved with some pretty shady dealings, money laundering, child trafficking, human trafficking, the Stalag network, the Mob Bell. What is the Durham investigation? What's the real Durham investigation? Why might there be more than one Durham investigation that, I don't know, might be going on in parallel? Maybe to confuse one group into thinking that they can get away with something that they can't get away with in an area while telling everybody that it's a guy named John Durham and he's from Connecticut, and maybe there is, and maybe they're actually doing something. But then there's the other Durham investigation, the other Durham. Well, Durham is also a pun. It's also wordplay, those unfamiliar. It's a three-ring cipher. Do, R-H-A-M, also do, R-H, ham. What's a ham? Ham is a public safety frequency. Ham is public radio. It's frequencies that would be about the mid 100 megahertz range and the mid 400 megahertz range, oftentimes in the United States. So ham radio. Yes, thank you. Ham radio. Do, R-H, ham. What is another term for do? Well, guys, there's DU. That's one do. Do can mean a lot of things. It can mean the morning dew, for example, droplets, rain, condensation. Well, there's another do as in just do it, like Nike missile silo. And then there's do as in directed energy weapons. Do. Well, RH, that can be repurposed into a lot of different things. RH can mean, well, ray. RH put together forms the word ray, a little bit like X-ray or gamma ray. Sometimes X and gamma ray being broadcast from cars. The DEW, D-E-W, ray, ham radio. Now, I've tracked quite a bit of this activity to some regions kind of close to Rosemont in West Lynn. You know, like Rosemont, Seneca, connected to Joe Biden's kid, Hunter Biden. Boy, this Durham investigation's getting interesting, ain't it? Time to queue up a line of cars and get ready for some more disclosure, guys, because what I'm doing right now is really kind of, it destroys what they do when they steal somebody's internet protocol address and pretend to be them, aiming beams and rays at your face while you do things. X-ray, gamma ray from the headlamps of cars. They have laser entrainment. So you guys, you know how you hear about like Antifa, they've been getting these green laser beams and aiming them at people's faces that are about $25. You can buy them on Amazon. They're pretty brutal. They've been burning and causing permanent damage to law enforcement's eyes. Well, guys, a do RH ham system that's inside a car can do the exact same thing, but far more automated. Instead of a person holding it, they just drive down the road and it's all automated and they aim at their targets. They get out a thick plume of this chemical that I'm told has a little bit of radon gas in it. And the reason why these people that get the radon gas in your lungs don't feel the do RH ham is because they themselves are taking some form of uranium pill similar to that we asked veterans that were serving in the Gulf conflict. There was a lot of them. If you ever saw the movie Jarhead, there was a lot of them that were asked just to take pills so that they wouldn't have to deal with the effects of uranium weapons should they be exposed to the chemicals inside the field. But a lot of people reported side effects with those pills, and a lot of the labs that made them and a lot of the people that, you know, basically used our veterans, our soldiers over there as human guinea pigs for this uranium method. It was kind of like, you know, you don't ask too many questions. You do what you're told. You're told this is going to make you safe and you do it. And this is why I say over and over again, ladies and gentlemen, as civilians, we must take better care of our veterans and ensure that they're only placed in harm's way when it's absolutely necessary. And we do that by selecting the proper leaders and not tolerating corruption in our elections. So part of the do RH ham investigation as it exists in parallel to this other one, you can accept it or not accept it. I don't really care. And, you know, it could be true. It may not be. I'll let you figure it out. I'm not really going to excessively speculate. I'll let you figure it out. And to those who felt compelled to do RH hams at innocent people and use falsified data to justify do RH hams at people, your network is getting shut down. And I'm doing this live to prove something. I'm doing this live to prove how you dope internet protocol addresses. I'm doing it live to show exactly where it's happening, who it's linked to, and where. Now, there's a person that's local to here, a very rich man from a very rich family. And him and his team, they have a network they call the French Fries. And they drive around with RH hams frying people's eyes. They're called the French Fries. Sometimes their cars literally put FRY on them, guys. You like that? You like that? They like to barge in on people and fry their eyes with the RH ham. Sorry about my pun usage, guys, but this is something you need to learn. Because what I just told you is everything to their language and how things operate within this secret network, the Mob Bell. And they're driving all around these areas. This is one major pocket of organ harvesting where they're getting away with it. The way this network works, they're all transmitting data relevant to human trafficking, child trafficking, and child pornography. Car to car, they'll just pass. I'm not saying these guys are doing it, guys, but the way this would work was they would find a straightaway like this, and all the cars are going to drive down the road. You'll see ones that'll have these really high intensity beams that are like bluish tint sometimes. And if you look at them through your headlamp with that little flip down that reduces the glare, you'll see the laser just underneath the EHF. So they have EHF, laser, and headlamps. They can do white noising, they can do data transfer from car to car, and they can aim directed energy weapons at you with these lasers. All encompassing, it does everything, guys. So I want you to think about what they've done here. They've created a private internet that they can do human trafficking payment transactions. They can mine cryptocurrency, they can money launder, they can harass people by stealing their link, passing you through their link, which is a private network that they run, steal all your money from you. And there's really not much you can do about it because nobody wants to investigate anything about these RH hams that are running around, aiming ham radio frequencies, pulsed light at people that are RH negative and O blood type. This is basically folks like their own private Auschwitz on our city streets, but they call it Arkowitz. So the Mob Bell, this is their soft kill program. I'm showing it to you in real time. I'm not telling you that it's happening to these cars, guys, but yeah, this is where it happens. I've been researching this for months, and this is one of the locations, one of many. And Las Vegas has a very serious problem with this too, because the complicity with human trafficking has its roots at the federal level, and federal complicity with said crimes, their involvement and their allowing of these networks to thrive as long as they're an exploitable form of labor and leave them alone. I don't blame everybody in law enforcement, guys. I'm just telling you that the network is extremely intimidating. And you'll get to the point where even if you have a pure heart, there's quite a few people that just give up because they don't want to see their children get hurt. They don't want to see their family members get hurt. And they finally just say, fine, man, whatever you got to do, just leave me alone. And I'm never going to take that stance. Sorry. So all you Kaisers, remember, guys, this all has its origins to Operation Paperclip Nazi families. They've had control over our infrastructure. They started basically the healthcare industry through Kaiser Permanente. That was done through Kaiser Steel. Kaiser is a huge cipher for these people, guys. It's a link between the pharma mafia, the big medical mafia. That started with Kaiser Steel. Kaiser Steel was owned by Henry J. Kaiser from Fontana, California, where my family were all raised 1 mile away from the front door of Kaiser Steel. That bridges off to Fontana Ave. There's a line there that's 44.66 degrees. There's links to all these things. It's an esoteric occult work that you have never been taught about. These people are never going to teach it to you, but it does exist. And it's occult sacrifice concealed and hidden as like vigilantism. They're going after the bad guys. Do you see the drug dealers, the human traffickers, the sex offenders are going along these streets in areas like this place and telling law enforcement that they're vigilantes. This way, they're allowed to be around human trafficking transactions, child trafficking transactions, and child pornography. If they get caught with it, they'll say, oh no, officer, we were going after the bad guy. We're not the bad guys. Meanwhile, this person that's looking at you telling you this is kind of like, that's the bad guy over there. Really? Trust me. I have the good information. I have the dossier on them. Trust me. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to be like over the top with it, but they're that deranged or that sociopathic, the people that are doing this. So I just thought you might want to be encouraged that sometimes things are done on the surface that kind of trick the general population into thinking that one thing's going on, and then allows investigators in a increasingly challenging environment where all information has been doped, has been hacked, has been intercepted by people that are deep state players that don't want to see this problem get solved. So sometimes DOJ and FBI that are trying to do the right thing may have to create a parallel investigation that has matching details, just like the bad guys do. Like I told you last night on my live stream, guys, they use buffers. They use buffers to protect the real investigators, and then they, well, you know. So anyways, guys, I can't tell you what's what or who's who or how this is working exactly, but, you know. All right, I've been on, a while now, so I don't want to keep this going. I have some things I got to get done, but I just thought I'd throw that out as a message for you guys. Things might be on their way to being solved a little bit sooner than you think, and I have proven some pretty significant problems that are going on in this country pretty definitively. So now we're just going to find out what's what, who's really about what, who's actually doing things under false pretenses, who knows that they're doing things under false pretenses, who's unaware, who's aware, who thought they were a vigilante, and who knows that they're just some deranged child molester or child trafficker or drug dealer who's pretending to be a vigilante so they can get away with using people as file mules and transaction mules on their IP address and their smartphones. Because guys, if you're followed by the Jeepers Creepers, that's what they're using you for. Stop giving yourself all these little self-defeating nicknames and joining people who are trying to get you into their list, and wake up to the reality of what's happening, guys. If this is happening to you, you're not a bad person. You're not a person that did anything wrong typically. They want your organs. It is a top-down hospitals, hospital chains, directed energy weapons systems, media, all of them together. And if you let Biden in as your president, our organs are going to be on wholesale to organ harvesters in China and through the CCP, and you're going to have concentration camps that are going to be thinly veiled as something American but are far from it. So think about the decisions you're making and what you're tolerating in our country right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not telling you what to think or how to vote, but fight for what's right now because it's very important. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day.